Good morning, everybody. We're going to start by singing "O Come All Ye Faithful," verses 1 through 3. It's 135 from the New Century Hymnal. Please rise as you are able in body or in heart. Grab a musical instrument if you want, as well as a finger labyrinth, and let's sing together. You may be seated. So, good morning, Plymouth, to those of you here in the building and those online. Today is the fourth Sunday of Advent, Love Sunday, which is, I think, really appropriate for today because I love you all so very much. For those of you who haven't received my email, I have announced that I'm moving to Michigan to be with my family and my friends, to be closer to my partner and her children and grandchildren. We have 8 Sundays together, including this Sunday. So, let's just party for 8 weeks, make this as meaningful of an experience as we can. And I just want to say that this is my dream church. I often talk about Plymouth as being the unicorn church, the mythical church that nobody thinks existed. I didn't think it existed, and it does. You do. We do. I thought I would retire here. That was my anticipation. But the truth of the last several years, the challenge of the isolation and not being able to be with family was hard. And I miss them incredibly. So that was a hard choice to make. I kept saying to Marcia, I want to take a map and crumple it all up so that everything is much closer. So know that I'm not doing anything but trying to get closer to the people of my family and my lifelong friends. If I could do that and stay here, I would in a heartbeat because you are so incredibly dear to me. But I know the future of Plymouth is bright. The future of Plymouth is strong. I have no doubt that what is coming next is going to be fantastic. And we're on a great trajectory. Sure, we've got a few little money problems. But, those notwithstanding, our treasurer laughs. But those can be surmounted because the rest of the trajectory of our life together and our ministry is strong and wonderful. So please continue to vision with me for that beautiful future that I am fully confident of. December 21st, we're having our winter solstice celebration. I believe that's on Wednesday. Can you believe that's on Wednesday? 6:30. Come and have s'mores with us, as well as having a spiritual experience. But mostly people come for the s'mores at the end of the event. I'm kind of convinced of that. Christmas Eve, we have a service at 5 o'clock. So come for that as well. It's going to be a wonderful time. And now I invite you to join with me in a centering moment as we bring ourselves fully to this time and to this place. As we take in a deep breath and be together in this space, we allow the topic of love to waft around us, to swirl and twirl, to be in our bodies, to fill us in these vessels. Love is the energy that is motivating, energizing, inspiring. So find the place in your body where love is residing, where love gives you healing and wholeness, and allow it to radiate to all the other places in your body that could use that energy. Sometimes we see these kinds of things as light or as color or as vibrations, as pictures, as moving water or fire. How do you picture the energy of love in your body, moving and shifting? How do you picture it in your mind? Where is love in your thinking process? How do you experience love as you analyze and consider? Is there an image that comes up for you? And let it radiate from that point in your thinking to the other places in your thinking where you need it. Let it expand within you. Where are you experiencing love on an emotional plane? How can you expand on that moment to the other places in your emotions where love is not the dominant emotion? Not so much to force things to change, but to support, to enhance, to strengthen and encourage. Whatever image or images of love that you have conjured up for yourself, where are they in your spirit? Where is that seed of love in your spiritual self, in your soul? And how can you help it to grow and expand into this essence of yourself so that it fills your being, helps you to become closer to your own full self as love integrates with your body, your mind, your emotions, and your soul. And it integrates with our holy love, with our divine beloved, connecting you to God's own self, connecting us to each other as we create intentionally this time that we have gathered together to have. So take in a breath. Know that we are co-creating a sacred moment as we bring ourselves fully to this time and to this place.
Please join me in our responsive call to worship. In Advent, we watch and wait.
We prepare to welcome the Christ child into the world.
Come, Holy Child, come.
In Advent, we prepare for a life of discipleship.
We watch for signs of God's presence breaking into the world. We watch for signs of God's divine nature in each of us. Come, Holy Child, come. Let's sing together now, Star Child, verses 1 and 5. It's number 174 from the Sing Missal, which you can find under your seat. Please stand as you are able, in body or in heart.
Star child, a child, go between of love child, Christ child, and lightning wrong. This year, let the day arise when Christmas comes for everyone alive. Hope for peace, child, God's stupendous Son, down to a child, stars that shine. This year, let the day arrive when Christmas comes for everyone alive.
You're first.
Mariel. It is the season of short days and long nights. We light this candle to remember that even in natural darkness, our lights shine. As these candles are lit, we open ourselves to sacred imagination and expansive love for a hopeful future.
Our first biblical witness this morning is from the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verses 12 through 17. It says this: "This is my commandment, that you love one another, as I have loved you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends, if you do what I command you. I do not call you servants any longer, because the servant does not know what the master is doing, but I have called you friends, because I have made known to you everything that I've heard from my divine parent. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and I appointed you to go and bear fruit that will last, so that the divine parent will give you whatever you ask in my name. I'm giving you these commands so that you love one another."
Our second biblical witness is from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 to 8. "If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things.
So far this Christmas season, we've meditated on hope, peace, and joy. All of them help us to find our way as people of faith, wanting to make this world a better place. Today, we meditate on love as the way to sustain us in our worldview based on the teachings of Christ, and on our ministries, which are the actions based on our faith. Love is the energy and emotion that reminds us that what we do individually and as a community has purpose. The commandment by Jesus that we love one another and make that love our source of community and friendship is crucial to the way that we live our faith. We don't build community by gritting our teeth and feeling compelled by some kind of threat of punishment that's eternal. Love is the force that draws us together. It refreshes our memories of kind times when things are hard. It activates our compassion and empathy. Jesus said, "I no longer call you servants. Now I call you friends," because the basis of who we are to each other and what we do together is love. Paul follows through on this teaching of Jesus, which tells me that it's one of those teachings that got passed down from person to person, because Paul wasn't a disciple of Jesus. He was against this new sect that they called the Way. According to his story, it took a mighty revelation to change his mind and become a follower and leader himself. All of this happened before the Gospels were written. His understanding of this foundational teaching of Jesus had to come from the people who were followers themselves and who became his teachers before he became a teacher and a leader. In our reading from Paul today, he lists a great many desirable actions that people of the Way would want to have. Speaking in tongues, having prophetic powers, faith that could move mountains. And when they say faith that can move mountains, I'm pretty sure what they're talking about is the kind of faith that can heal people. The kind of faith that can throw the mighty from their thrones and lift up those who need to be lifted up. He also talks about sacrificing all a person has, from possessions to their very lives. He says that all of it amounts to nothing. You can do all of it. And if it doesn't come from the source of love, it's pointless. And then he defines love, which I find really helpful, because there's so many definitions of what love might mean. And some of them are wonderfully squishy. Some of them are very practical. This section in 1 Corinthians 13 is one of the most famous teachings from the epistles. You could probably tell it to me from your heart. In it, we see that love is both an action and an attitude. As Paul points out, actions that look like love by themselves aren't always done with love. Cultivating love as the foundation for ministry, or just as the foundation for living well, keeps us from deteriorating into doing actions just because we feel like we're supposed to. One of my favorite things about Plymouth is love. The love we share with each other and the love we put out into the world. It's powerful. In the Gospel of John, Jesus said, I appointed you. I found you, I noticed you, and I appoint you with power to bear fruit. Fruit that lasts. Fruit that's juicy. Not the kind of lasting that in longevity, but the kind of lasting that goes deep, that has purpose. It isn't about competency, organization, structure, or money. Those things help, no doubt about it, but they help in the way that they're tools. Whether the fruit is good and lasts is about motivation. It's about the why. This is also true about maintaining the energy and stamina of fulfilling the call of Christ to bear good fruit. The why and the purpose are the energy that sustain us. This is one of the reasons that having a spiritual practice like prayer and meditation is helpful. We take time to slow down. If all we do is take actions, we burn out, we get resentful. This happens when we forget our purpose, when we forget our why. Advent is a kind of spiritual practice, the lighting of the candles. Sometimes people have Advent calendars and they open up the little doors, preparing our hearts for the celebration of Christ's birth. Even the decorating and de-decorating of a space can be a kind of spiritual practice, the getting ready and then the taking down. Every year we move through this ritual which leads to Christmas Eve and eventually Epiphany. These are special times to realign ourselves with our purpose and our why. We reinvigorate our spirits and refresh our good works. Celebrating the birth of Jesus reminds us that we take an opportunity to rebirth ourselves. We don't celebrate his birthday as, oh, Jesus is another year older, like we do for ourselves. Each year we remember simply that he was born. What did his birth mean to his family? What did it mean to the people around him? When we imagine him as a newborn, what was the impact on his community that they didn't know was about to happen? What does the idea of his birth mean to us as followers of his teachings? What was he born into? And what was his purpose? What did he do with his life that we want to emulate, that started at the beginning? Here's another year that we can begin again, refreshed by remembering the starting place of his life, his birth, our rebirth. For most of us, the vulnerability of a baby brings out the nurturer in us. We respond with compassion and gentleness to their needs. When a baby cries out, it breaks our hearts. Our faith story begins with our teacher in his most vulnerable state. Love is the response to a newborn and their family. This week, we're doing the last of our preparations for whatever Christmas celebrations we have. This might include family time, friends celebration, even finishing touches for our Christmas service here. It can be a very busy time. For some of us, Christmas brings up sadness. Losses of family and friends, losses of rituals that once held meaning. It also brings up some of the most happy times of connection. Maybe remembering those old rituals fills us with wonderful memories. Creating new ones fills us with hope for a future. This last week of Advent, especially now, taking all the busyness and emotional qualities of the season into consideration, find time to breathe. Remember your why. It's easy to get lost in the commotion. Pausing might seem like the most irrational and inefficient thing to do. But finding your source, holy love itself, and refreshing yourself with this love will give you the energy you need, as well as the wisdom that you might need to decide what's actually important to do next. Most importantly, renewing our foundation of love will help to sustain and support the very purpose we have in celebrating, in doing ministry together, and in following the path that we follow, that of this one that started out vulnerable and frail like we all do, and became the great teacher that we emulate today. With that, my friends, peace.
Love came down at Christmas. Love came down. Love came down. Love came down. Love came down. Love came down at Christmas. Love came down.
All love's excelling joy.
Divine, love's excelling
Christmas.
Love came down. On Christmas night, the Christians sing to hear the news that the angels bring. Oh, out of darkness we have light, for love came down that Christmas night. News of great hope and news of great love. Joyful news of our merciful King's birth. Is born the divine Christ child. Joy the old and night hearts merrily. Oh come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh come let us adore him. Oh come let us adore him. Oh come let us adore him. Christ. Once in royal David's city stood a lonely cattle shed.
Where a mother laid her baby in a manger for his bed.
Mary was that mother one, Jesus Christ her tiny child. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Love came down at Christmas. Love came down. Love came down. Love came down. Love came down on Christmas night.
So I'd like to do prayers of the people today because there's so much going on in our congregation, and I'd like to start with a few prayers. Some of you might have seen on Facebook that Mark is in the hospital. This is the second time this week in the hospital. He's got a kidney stone that's trapped in his kidney. His kidney's inflamed, and he's having a hard time with it. So who will join me in prayer for Mark? If so, please say, I will. I will. Jan Adams is recovering still from cervical spine surgery. Who will join me in prayer for Jan? If so, please say, I will. Jim Bolins is on hospice, doing better than he was, but still We want to send all of our love out to Jim and his family. Who will pray for them with me? If so, please say, I will. Amy Friday has had knee surgery this week and is recovering from that, about to go into physical therapy. Who will join me in prayer for Amy? If so, please say, I will. And Jerry is on the last leg of his treatments from leukemia. So this is the hardest of all the treatments. We also want to lift up Tara at this time as his support. Who will join me in prayer for Jerry and Tara? If so, please say, I will. And now it is your turn. What is going on in your life? What do you need to lift up? And what do you have to celebrate? If you'd like to share something to celebrate as well.
Hi, I'm a visitor today. I'm Carol Ashton, and I was here at the birth of this church. And so I am celebrating that, and it's a joy to be here, to see how you have grown up. Makes me want to cry. And I'd like to send you a blessing as you move to your new position.
Well, thank you, Carol. And thank you for that note of celebration. Who will join in this with me? If so, please say, I will. I will.
Okay, my sister Margaret Walden, who was a member of this church, moved away 6 years ago. Anyway, she is on the 21st will be undergoing her third surgery on her ankle that she broke months and months and months ago. And so I would like some prayer for her.
Who will join with me in prayer for Margaret? If so, please say, I will. I will.
Yes, I'd ask for prayers for my niece, Britta, who had a double mastectomy this week. Ask that we give her all the love we can give her.
Who will join with Bob in this prayer? If so, please say, I will. I will.
My mom, Jan, is currently fighting cancer for the second time, and so I would like to send her all the love and prayers that we can.
Who will join with Kayla in this prayer? If so, please say, I will. I will. Got him over here.
My husband, Zach's family's kind of had a hard go the last 2 weeks. He just lost an uncle to a traumatic brain injury, and then the last week he lost an aunt to cancer. So the entire family's having a really tough time.
Who will join in the Johnson family in these prayers? If so, please say, I will. I will.
I feel like Simba, but we have a 6-week-old. So my third grandchild.
So you're what?
Third grandchild.
Third grandchild. Who will join in both celebration and prayer in this? If so, please say, I will. I will. Francis up here has something. Did you say? No? Okay.
Okay, I have my little nephew. He's only 3 years old, and he have cancer, and he's really sick. So.
Her nephew, how old is he?
3.
3-year-old nephew has cancer. Who will join in this prayer? If so, please say, I will. I will.
We just celebrated my mom's 91st birthday with her, so I celebrate her life with us. And she's also got an infection now, so for her return to better health.
Who will join in this celebration and prayer? If so, please say, I will. I will. I would like to ask for prayer for the Plymouth officers and the council as they move through this time of discernment. Who will join me in this prayer? If so, please say, I will. I will. Please join your hearts in prayer with mine. Holy Love, you've heard all the words that we've spoken, and you also know all those prayers and celebrations that are unspoken, that reside deep within us. You also know what prayers we might have. And so we lift all of this up to your holy goodness and ask that you would strengthen us, give us great compassion, send forth your healing love, your healing comfort, give wisdom and vision and courage to the medical teams, to families who are going through things with people, and generally send out your goodness and your blessings on all that has been spoken and all that resides deep inside of our hearts. We turn to you for our sustenance and for our inspiration and for the connection that we have in the Spirit. And because we do this work as a community together, let us lift up our voices in these words of prayer, saying, together we defy the darkness by being the light. We make violence tremble by being peacemakers. When chaos and trauma cause distress, we counter by reaching for love and remembering joy. This day, when people are going hungry, give us bread to share. This day, when people are angry and hurt, give us forgiveness to offer. When there is so much temptation to be selfish and careless, this day, give us the strength to be kind and intentional. As we wait and prepare to celebrate the birth of a holy child, remind us that we are all born holy and deserve love and tenderness. In the many names of love, may it be so.
Each week we collect 2 offerings. One is for the church, which goes into our general fund for the running of the church and our ministries. The second is the loose offering, which is sent to a designated charity, which changes each week. If you brought your offering in person today, you are welcome to drop it in the offering box in the back. It is the glass church near the doors to the narthex. Today's loose offering will go to Gender Infinity, which creates affirming spaces for families, learners, advocates, and providers to advance relationships, knowledge, and resources that empower gender-diverse individuals. In our journey together, they promote justice, equity, and hope in the celebration of infinite gender possibilities. If you would like to give to our general fund, to the loose offering, or to both, you can use bill pay from your bank, send us a check, use the Plymouth app, or use PushPay according to the directions on your screen. As always, thank you for supporting Plymouth and the ministries of the loose offering.
creatures here below. Praise God for all that love has done. Creator, Christ, and Spirit one.
Even during Advent, a time set aside for waiting, it is often very hard for us to wait. Our world worships the power that acts quickly through force. We open our hearts and spirits to new birth and transformation. Let's sing together now, Angels from the Realms of Glory, verses 1 to 3. It's number 126 from the New Century Hymnal, which you can find under your seats.
Angels from the realms of glory, wing your flight o'er all the earth, and to sing creation's story, now proclaim the Messiah's birth. Come and worship, worship Christ, give thanks and sing. Shepherds in the fields abide, watching o'er your flocks by night. God with us is now residing, yonder shines the infant light. Come and worship, worship Christ, give thanks and sing. Sages, leave your contemplations, brighter visions, beam up far. Seek the great desire of nations, guided by Christ's angels throng. Come and worship, worship Christ, give thanks and sing.
And now, my friends, it's time to go from this moment to whatever it is that you have next. We've got a fellowship that is waiting for you to have a little something to eat and a little something to share of time with each other in conversation. I also want to remind you that we do have the Labyrinth Walk and Sacred Fire and Drum Circle for Solstice Celebration Wednesday. And then we've got our Christmas Eve service at 5 o'clock. But we do not have Sunday service on Christmas Day because it's Christmas Day and people don't want to come. So so we're not going to have it. But we are going to have our Christmas Eve celebration and hope to see you there. And now, my friends, as you go forth into the rest of the busy season, may you be blessed. May you be blessed with love that comes from the ground up into your feet, love that comes from skyward into your head and from all sides around you that just fills you. And may you be a love sponge that you can absorb it and also that you can just spread it broadly and widely wherever you go, like Christmas cheer. Go forth in peace, in love, as peacemakers and love makers.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año de felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año de felicidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año de felicidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año de felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Próspero año de felicidad.